We appreciate that discussion from Colin Woodhull talking about tariffs. Tariffs affect everything. And our guest this week talking about land prices is Ray Brownfield. First of all, Ray, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You know, lots of conversations I've had with growers this week. Seems like there's a lot of signs for sale on some property, especially around Illinois, I've noticed in the last few weeks.
There are, and you'd think, you know, with everything's going out there, with the tariff issues you just mentioned and that, what's land doing and what's going on out there? And I think the longer I've been in this business, the least I know sometimes, but there is a lot on the ground to be sold to people. Is that because of the economy? I'm not sure that it is. What we see is a lot of people and families, it's time to disperse. That's when they decide to sell and get on with their life and just distribute the income. So there's been some interesting things going on out there.
So when we talk about land for sale, there's been some recent sales. What can you share with us about land values right now?
Unbelievably strong. Now it's regional. It's down to almost to the township because it was good drainage, not such big parcels in some ways. Class A, it is amazingly. Actually, it's up, I think, a little bit from where it was maybe even 3 months ago.
Ray, are you seeing the land for sale in places where harvest is complete? Certainly there's a lot of places throughout the Midwest that still have a lot of harvesting left. It seems to me like those sales are kind of coming where the harvest is complete as well.
I would agree with you. I was thinking about that. I think you're probably right. I think in the other areas where we're still trying to get this crop out of the ground and into where it belongs, there's a little less sale going on, although they're still coming on the market, I think, in those areas as well.
So I know there was a big sale of over 1,000 acres this week. What can you tell us about the investors? Who's buying land right now? You've been doing this for a long time.
I have. And it was interesting. I didn't attend the auction, but one of the fellows that worked for me did, and he said everybody thought it was going to be a bomb. It wasn't going to work. It wasn't that good a ground. Well, it was okay, but it was high Class B, low Class A soils, and they just didn't think it would go so well. It went fantastically well, and it averaged, and it was probably, what, 90? I think 92.20 an acre.
Wow.
We thought that was pretty darn good considering the market out there today. Who the buyers were was some farmers, but some outside money came in as well. The farmers are smart. If they can't buy it, they find investors who will buy it, and they can end up farming it, which I think is a pretty smart way to go.
Ray, let's talk about that. When we look at the general class of land buyers in this country over the past several years, A, we haven't seen much ground for sale. B, there's not much return on anything. So C, are you still seeing investors move into farm ground on a broad scale, or was this just a one-time deal? No,
we see them out there. They're very particular. They're on a net return. It's strictly return-based with the appreciation potential over a 10-year period of time. They're not going to be long-term holders. They really can't usually in their kind of marketplace. So it's not like the farmer who's in there hopefully for their lifetime, their kids, their grandkids. A whole different kind of market for the investors. But they're there, and I would tell you they set the bottom. They're there to get an opportunity if it's going to be there. They don't usually like auctions if they don't have to. They don't want to be perceived as a competitor to the local marketplace, which makes good sense. They're there for larger tracts, which sometimes the local people don't have the cash to do that with. So it's a good combination market, frankly.
All right. Well, there's a lot happening in the world of ag land sales. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to discuss when we get back. So, folks, stay with us. We'll be right back with Ray Brownfield here on This Week in Agribusiness.